your stem cell transplants, and your steroids. Who fought for you? I'm your son, and that is what I'm supposed to do. And I'm happy to be here because I love you.
That's right.
But I need to go away. And when I come back, I will be ready for life. What was your name?
Jane?
I wasn't trying to hit on you before. I was just being genuine and asking if you want to just come hang out with my friends. You got acid.
An adult with no money and no job.
We always thought you'd end up in jail.
I'm cool.
I know the demons that you're wrestling with. I want to help. So I'm just going to come right out and say this.
Okay.
You're a mess.
She may die any day. She is scared to death. You need to relax.
The thing about us is we feel good things way up here. But we feel bad things way down there. And we gotta remember, there's all this space in between. We gotta try and live in there too.
You know, I guess I didn't really think about her as someone with a terminal illness. I thought about her as I think that's really important when you're dealing with someone who's sick, right? Is to not see them as a patient first, right? To remember who they were before they got sick. Do you know what I mean? Remember what's important to them. Remember what their profession is or was. Remember who are the people in their lives that they love or loved. You know, what are the things, their hobbies or their interests that they have, and to remember to relate to them on that level, not just, you know, what's your temperature, how are you feeling today, do you need to go to the bathroom, do you know what I mean? Right. That stuff is painful and at best uninteresting. They don't want to talk about that most of the time, you know, they want to talk about the things they accomplished in their life, or, you know, their children or their grandchildren or their mother or, you know, whatever, and to try and so I think I approached Gail in that way, that, you know, she was a person who had arrived at this moment of her life in which she was struggling with a lot of pain and expectation of death and all of these things, but it didn't stop her being who she had always been. I think it's relentless, right? And I think that being a, you know, I mean, it's a very painful thing to say, but like, you know, when you have a child, it's that kind of around the clock thing. But you have this expectation that as time passes, your child will become more and more independent, right? When you're being a caregiver for someone with a terminal illness, you have the exact opposite expectation, that as time passes, they will only become more and more dependent on you. So I think it makes it, you know, I think the rewards of it are enormous. Do you know what I mean? That you know that you're there for this person, often your parent, do you know what I mean, at the time when they need it the most. And the pride and the satisfaction that you have that you've done everything for them that you can, and the hope that you have that someday someone will do the same for you. But it's very hard because, you know, the end is not like, you know, watching your kid graduate or watching your kid walk down the wedding aisle. Do you know what I mean? But the letting go and saying goodbye to that person forever. So it's very hard. And also, like parenting, I think it's hard to ever feel that you've done enough. Do you know what I mean? That no matter how many hours you put in, no matter how many creative things you can think of that might make that person happier or more comfortable, like, it never feels like enough. It's hard to kind of forgive yourself for that.
it's like there's not enough time to think about yourself, you know, in that way. And actually, maybe that's probably a good thing, but not so much a hardship. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, you're kind of thrown in, you know, a situation is now thrown into your life where you know, it kind of throws you off track in that way, and it kind of makes you reevaluate probably some of your own ideals and stuff.
I think food is always good. Food is really always good. And I think sometimes, you know, again, it's like caring for a small child. It's like it's backbreaking, you know, endless, tedious work. And so, you know, everybody has the expectation of wanting to come and help the person who's sick, but sometimes just going over and spending time with both the person who's sick and the person who's taking care of them is, you know, it's one thing to like give somebody a break. That's a great thing to do, but it's also just good to go and keep them company, because it's a lonely, lonely thing.
You know, genuinely giving your time to someone, and you know, listening and giving your full attention, and you know, and then all the menial tasks too are important. But I think it's making the person feel like you're truly there for them.